Good morning, pregame crew. How are ya? Hope you're doing well. Chart Gal Lori here. It is Wednesday, February 4th, 6:22 a.m. Mountain Time, 8:22 a.m. Eastern Time. I'm jumping on early to get that brain and mouth warmed up, take a few chart requests, do an audio visual check, say hello to my friends. Hey, Shake and Bake. Yeah, hit the like button. Hey, Sonoma. Sure, I can do Hood. Hood can do itself. Hood is ratchet. Hey, taxi driver. Hey, Ted. Thanks for being here. All right, Hood. Hood is getting demolished. On the monthly, we are looking for a higher low on Hood. So this is a name that's getting hit hard, but we do have a time frame that's still plausible, the monthly for a higher low. Weekly, we're not oversold yet. Daily, we're oversold. Oversold, looking for a monthly higher low. 4 hour, very beat up. It would likely want Bitcoin to bounce in order to help Hood, and Bitcoin is just not bouncing. It bounced yesterday, but it's pulling back at the moment. Just not ideal conditions for a Hood bounce. Hourly 12 EMA is your guide. Let's see, is there any support in this area? I looked this up yesterday. 81.92. Got a little gap here at 84.88. That didn't get filled yesterday, got close. And then 81.92. Just, it is attempting to catch a falling knife. This is a perfect example and name of waiting for the right side of the V. You want to wait for the right side of the V. No gold stars are given for catching the bottom. Nuke, okay. NUKK, big bear volume yesterday. Last week it hit 210. That is a 52-week low. Nuke got nuked. Daily 12 EMA is the bear guide. 4 hour 12 EMA had a pump yesterday, but bear stepped in and shorted it. 233 is short-term resistance. Short-term support 219. It doesn't look good. This looks like a pretty hated name. Think of these names like musical chairs. The music is going and everybody's switching chairs, and then we start removing the chairs. Don't get left without a chair on a name like this, i.e. get out when you can. Trading these names are for ninjas. Trading ninjas is what I always say. Ted, Michelle, hi. Silver name, PAAS. We're looking for a daily lower high. They have earnings in 2 weeks from today. $59. It's a pre-market level from yesterday and $58.99. This has a little cup and handle look to it. Silver is stronger than gold this morning. However, we are looking for a daily lower high. Hourly, not overbought yet. That's where bears will start scouting. The daily lower high above $59, $59.59 is the next resistance. I will definitely do SPY. Good morning, good morning. Lenora, Al, win for you. Hoang, you're welcome. PayPal got hit by earnings. I'll stop it. I'll do SPY, which I will be going over SPY. SPY on the 4-hour, we're looking for a lower high. With the size of that move down yesterday, we're looking for a 4-hour lower high, testing the 4-hour 12 EMA. You look at futures, looking for the 4-hour lower high. Look at that upper wick we're developing right there at the 12 EMA. Let's see, how big of a bounce did we get? We got about a 55% bounce. We've made room for a higher low. So odds favor something like this. We have Google earnings after hours today, Amazon earnings after hours tomorrow. If you want to screenshot this, this is what we're looking at, 4-hour lower high. Okay, PayPal got hit with earnings. We're not below yesterday's low yet, 41.43. I don't factor in RSI when you have an earnings move. PayPal will it will get a dead cat bounce. It's just a matter of when. We are at 52-week lows. Let's see, below this. Trying to see any support in this area. I know we have some from way back when. See if there's an obvious gap. There's a pretty big gap right there. Not all gaps have to be filled. Okay, we filled that one. 45.04. Okay, 39.02 is your next support below $40. This one will get a dead cat bounce, but front running it is just not the game here. You want to look for some type of volume climax, and you want to wait for the right side of the V. All right. Almost 6:30. Good morning, Miska. Big Mota CSX. Yeah, hit the like button, please. CX at railroads. 52-week high. We're not at the all-time high. The all-time high is 40.12. Plenty of room for a daily higher low, 4-hour 12 EMA rider. You're welcome, Belle. Gary, RDW, and then I'll get started with the show. RDW, Aerospace and Defense. We're resting on the daily 200 MA. We broke this support of 1068, but I would call this a double bottom at this point. And I love that it's holding the daily 200 MA. Right now, I would call this a daily double bottom, looking for a potential low here. On a bounce, bears will be looking for a daily lower high, but this 1060 is put up or shut up time for bulls. That could be a good bottom fish area, looking for a long, nice risk to reward. All right, let's get the show started. Good morning. Welcome to the pregame show. This is who I am. I'm Chart Gal Lori. If you want to give me a follow on X at Chart Gal Lori, that would be lovely. I'm part of the Chart Guys community, and we teach technical analysis. If you want to check us out at chartguys.com, we have a swing report, we have indicators. Most importantly, we have free resources. If you're just getting started out trading, risk management and preserving your capital is the absolute primo objective. Check out free resources. Don't look for the holy grail. All right, so what I do here on Wednesdays, I look at this table, Market Environment Dossier table. This is a table that I created analyzing all the variables that go into the market and that I think contribute to market strength or weakness. Overall, we're looking more bullish than bearish this morning. We have a lot of names that have no check. That's a neutral pattern, meaning that it's a push. It's neither bullish or bearish at the time frame I'm analyzing. So a little more bullish than bearish. Economic calendar. Today, I don't think we have any delays. We have the oil report. We don't have any delays due to the government shutdown. I don't know if the employment situation will be released Friday with the shutdown vote yesterday. I don't know. So just if you are trading names that are impacted by economic data, definitely do a search and see if the data and get up-to-date schedules. All right, ES. I just want to point out we're holding this daily 50 MA. That's important. We broke daily support here on ES, but we're holding the daily 50 MA. We have a squeeze. Notice where SPY is on RSI. I mention this pretty often. Look at this 50 RSI. Look at it back here. 50 RSI in a bullish market or a bullish chart can act as synthetic support. So we're holding the daily 50 MA and we're holding the 50 RSI. Look at that lower wick of bulls buying the dip at the daily 50 MA. Yesterday, our clue, yesterday morning, let's see, SMH rising. So this was yesterday morning. Yesterday at 7 a.m. my time. Technical reasons, I was looking bearish yesterday morning. VIX had a daily quad bottom. NQ daily lower high likely. Apple was at resistance. SMH, and if you watched the live stream yesterday, you know this was my aha moment. This rising wedge on SMH. So let's look at SMH. This rising wedge was my tell yesterday. Hey, things aren't looking too spiffy, careful. So right here, we had a rising wedge on semis. Excuse the line, it's not perfectly drawn, but you can see it there, and we broke bear in a big way. This was my aha moment right here, and I posted it real time. Hey, I'm looking bearish. This does not look good. So semis have been dragging down the market. We got a big outside bar yesterday. It remains to be seen if this is a broadening formation, if this lower low doesn't get followed through. Right now, we're opening red. 4-hour lower high is more likely. So bears will be looking for a 4-hour lower high, and that's impacting NASDAQ. NASDAQ is looking for a 4-hour lower high. This NASDAQ bounce is much weaker than ES. So we only got a 0.382 retrace. NASDAQ could be a bear flag. So yesterday we held this support 25,180. That was our area to bounce. But this bounce is not proving a lot. Potential 4-hour bear flag. Doesn't look great. We're below the daily 50 MA on NQ. RTY holding up a little bit better. We're balancing on the daily 12 EMA. 4-hour, we're approaching resistance 267890 and the strong resistance 2680 right here. We got a double top in that area. So IWM is holding up better than most. Semis and tech are the fly in the ointment for the bulls. Dow had a very strange, it zoomed higher yesterday and then reversed. So back here, we had a 1,200 point reversal here to here. And then yesterday we had a 850 point reversal. So Dow is giving you a lot of volatility. Right now, this looks like a potential 4-hour diamond bearish reversal pattern. If you don't care about patterns, that's okay. I don't love them either. 4-hour lower high is more likely. We are over the 4-hour 12 EMA, but that lower high is more likely. VIX, we have a megaphone broadening formation here on VIX. We're getting tiny higher highs without follow through. We're right in the middle of that range. Bulls are looking for a 4-hour higher low. Let me type that out. So on our indices, we're looking for 4-hour lower highs, and on VIX, we're looking for 4-hour higher low. Those two things equal bearish view of the market at the moment. All right, Hang Seng was green overnight. DAX is red. Bitcoin, we broke monthly support. So speaking of broadening formations, since I've talked about it the last two charts, let's look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin bulls would love for this to be a broadening formation where we make a tiny lower low without follow through. So let's see if bulls can make a temporary bottom here on Bitcoin. Right now, they're showing no aptitude or appetite for that. Hourly 12 EMA overhead. Ethereum is weak, but Ethereum is holding monthly support. All right. Oil inventory today, we're inside yesterday's range. Daily higher low set off the daily 12 EMA. 4-hour, can we get a 4-hour higher low and trend change? This bounce is straight from the low. And we are getting headlines that impact oil. But I will tell you, oil is one of the prettiest charts out there with this pressure building with this sideways range. It is my expectation that we would fire bullish. We're above the 50 RSI. Preceding trend is up. I'm leaning more bullish than bearish on this squeeze. Overall, when the squeeze fires, I'm looking for some major volatility in oil. Nat gas had a big move. End of January, we're weekly inside bar. Daily, we're looking for a lower high. Nat gas for me is in no man's land here. Gold, we're looking for a daily lower high on gold. Daily lower high. 4-hour, this could be a rising wedge here. It also could be a bull flag, but we are looking for that daily lower high. I'm more bearish gold than bullish here at this juncture. I'm talkative today. Silver is much stronger than gold overnight, but silver is still at the 0.382 retrace. Look at gold. Gold is retraced 55%. Silver only 40%. So silver has been weaker, but overnight it's stronger. We're approaching the 4-hour 12 EMA. This could be a 30-minute rising wedge. Remains to be seen. A daily lower high is more likely. Apple's had a beautiful move. Daily inverse head and shoulders confirmed. It was strong yesterday. It was pretty, not funny, but here the word kept coming to me, unbothered. Apple's going sideways and the market's dumping, and Apple's like, whatever, I'm just going to stay up here. So I'm looking for a temporary top on Apple, looking for a weekly lower high. 4-hour got overbought. We are not finding a top yet, but I am looking for a weekly lower high on Apple, and bulls will just look for a healthy pullback to buy. Amazon earnings tomorrow after hours, 4-hour lower high is likely. Good morning. NVDA has been trash. We lost weekly support. The question on this one, is this a broadening formation? Tiny lower low, we broke the support by $1.40. AMD is weak this morning, weighing on the sector. We're looking for a 4-hour lower high on NVDA. All right, Queen of the Mountain trades. Well, Rivian was the Queen of the Mountain trade yesterday. I really like this chart where we are looking for a monthly higher low, looking for a weekly higher low. We have a double bottom, 1392, 1395. I like this. We have earnings next week. I like Rivian for a bounce. We got a great bounce yesterday and still rejected at the 4-hour 12 EMA. For today, I'm looking at JPM. JPM is looking for a weekly lower high. We're at the daily 50 MA. We're not through this key daily resistance yet, 317.21. I like a top fish of JPM, 4-hour overbought, looking for a weekly lower high. MU, we have a 4-hour EQ. Higher high, lower low, lower high, higher low. I'm looking for a 4-hour lower high on MU. So we have a little bit of an EQ here. Not a clean EQ. I like a top fish of MU, a short, looking against 422.50, looking for that 4-hour lower high. STX is in that same sector. STX, I'm looking for a 4-hour lower high here. 4-hour lower high. So I like JPM short, MU short, STX short. Tesla, I like long. Tesla, we're looking for a weekly higher low. And we have a potential 4-hour falling wedge. We're getting tiny lower lows without follow through. We're approaching the 4-hour 12 EMA. I like Tesla long today. We're getting above 423, pre-market support 418.09. Queen of the mountain for me today, Tesla. Honorable mention, Roku. Roku, we're looking for a weekly higher low and daily's approaching oversold at the 200 MA. 4-hour oversold, and look at this bullish divergence. Price is making a lower low while RSI is making a higher low. Roku may be positioned for a bounce. And Shop, we're looking for a monthly higher low on Shop. Daily's oversold. We have Amazon earnings tomorrow, which can impact Shop, and Shop has earnings next week. 4-hour oversold, hourly oversold. One more push down on Shop. It could be in an area for potential long. 115.95 is your next support. I just want to I covered silver. We are looking for a daily low or high, but let me go over the levels with SLV. SLV gapping up. 84.14 keeps a bear flag alive, and that would not necessarily make room for a daily higher low. I probably didn't say that the best way, but you get the picture. 4-hour getting over the 12 EMA. Is this a rising wedge? And that looks very similar to silver futures. Let's see what time frame, the 30-minute. Potential rising wedge on silver. You're welcome, Al. Hey, green lady. Okay, Ted, I went over silver too. Okay, so I want to make sure Ted is a TCG member. He gets priority. All right, so Rivian looks good to me as long as we hold 1390. I like this for a bottom fish attempt, even a swing attempt. I like the name. Fundamentally, I like it. I'm not saying that I've gone over under the hood, figuratively and literally, to research financials. I just like it. All right. SNDK, I wanted to go over that. I like SNDK short. It's just a high risk short. We have an hourly EQ. We got a new all-time high yesterday. I like this one short. I couldn't come up with a technical reason. 4-hour does look like no, that's not a rising wedge. So I left it off the Queen of the Mountain trades, but this sector is just looking a little bit tired. Topping tail candles are our clues. You're welcome, Al and Ted. All right, I'm going to wrap up. Go get ready for my TCG live stream. Thank you for being here. Hit the like button, subscribe button, notify button. Give me a follow on X at ChartGallery. Thank you for being here, and use stop losses.